Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm sure you have seen the title of today's video, and that's what I'm going to be talking about: reseller burnout. So I'm going to talk about where I've been, what I've been doing, and how I got here. So if you all remember back, I believe like towards the end of March, I posted a video here on my channel that was titled I Need Inventory. And that video was actually like a few months in the making. And basically at that point, I was really struggling. I was really struggling to find good inventory. And that had been going on again for a few months. And I kept thinking like, okay, there are bad weeks. We've all been there. It's like you'll go a few weeks and it's just like nothing great. And then you'll have a thrift haul that's like amazing and you're like, oh, we're all good. So I went like, I don't know, it felt like I went a while without really having one of those kind of thrift trips where I left being like, that was amazing. I was still picking stuff up because I needed things to pick up and to list, but I knew that what I was used to finding, I don't know, I really wasn't finding very many good items like I had before. And so again, that's why I made that video in March talking about it. And I think even in that video, I sort of like touched on this, but I think I was really starting to get concerned that maybe the Goodwills in my area were sending more stuff off to like their e-commerce stores. There are a lot of like Goodwill boutiques, and I don't know, I was like, maybe that's what's going on. Like maybe they're sending off the good stuff to other places. And I was really, really worried. I was like, I hope that that's not what's going on. But I didn't know what else to think. And so actually following that video, literally like I made that video and the next week, I finally had one of those thrift trips where I had like bags full, amazing items. And I was like, oh my gosh, like we're back, like we're good. And it was amazing. And after that video and that haul, it just went right back to how it had been before. Like every time I would go, I was either finding like 4 or 5 things, or I was walking out completely empty-handed, like a lot. And I was really concerned. I was just like, I have to get answers. Like whatever the answers are, I'm good, but I need answers. Like I have to figure this out. And so around the beginning of May, I decided, I was like, I'm going to go out to the thrift stores every single day, all different times of the day. And what I was trying to figure out was the answer. Like, is the stuff even here anymore? Like, is there any good stuff still here? Or is it not even in the thrift stores anymore? Is it just like being sent out to somewhere else? And so I did this week where I went out every single day and I got my answer. So the answer was that the stuff was still there. All the same brands, all the same great items, they were still there. But I noticed they were getting picked up really quickly, and there were like smaller amounts of them. So they were putting out like, I don't know, 10 to 15 like really great items like that a day. And so I was relieved in one way. In one way, I was like, okay, look, I figured it out. The stuff's still here. It's not being sent off to Goodwill Boutique or Goodwill e-commerce or whatever I was worried about. It's still here. But obviously at that time, my like sourcing schedule was I was going out like 2 days a week. That was not going to cut it anymore. That was very clear to me after that week that I went out every day. I was like, I'm going to have to go out a lot more than I'm going out. And so at that point, I decided, okay, this is what I have to do. I have to go out sourcing more. Going sourcing 2 days a week, it wasn't meeting the needs of my business anymore. And so what I did, and a lot of you, if you've watched my videos, you'll remember this. I knew that like I didn't have like tons of time to just like be out at the thrift stores all day. So kind of what my game plan was is I started sourcing by the Goodwill color tags. And basically each week Goodwill like changes out the color tag on their new inventory. And so kind of what I was doing was like, I'm going to go every single day, or not every day, but I don't know, 4 or 5 days a week. And I'm only going to go through the new color tags. So by doing this, instead of spending hours in the thrift store, I was able to like cut my time down to like 40 to 45 minutes. And so by doing that, I was like, okay, like if I only spend like 40 to 45 minutes in there, I can go a lot more, right? But still basically be spending the same amount of time each week sourcing. So that's what I started doing. I started going out literally as much as I could. And again, it was summertime when I was doing this. So in the summer, my schedule, it does have a lot more flexibility. So I was able to really make that work, especially since when I was going, I was only going for like 45 minutes instead of hours. So that's what I started to do. And honestly, the results were there. I was finding great items. I was getting enough to list my 10 items a day, and everything was going great. Until about like midway through the summer, when I don't know, you all, I felt like, okay, like maybe this is taking a little bit of a toll. Like, I was really pushing myself. The main reason is because I knew once August started, because I have young kids, I knew I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. There's no way. Like, even with the reduced time at being at the thrift store, like there is no possible way that I'm going to be able to go out this much with all my other responsibilities and things that I have going on. And so because of that, I was really, really pushing myself to make the most of summer and a more relaxed schedule. So I pushed and pushed and pushed. And like I said, midway through the summer, I really noticed I'm like, I'm tired, and I'm really feeling the burnout, like you guys already know, I'm a thrifter. I love thrifting. It is literally one of the things in my life that, I'm not kidding, like literally make me the happiest. Like I love it. And even being that way, like I was in the thrift store and I would be going through clothes and I was just like having thoughts like, I don't want to be here. Like I don't want to thrift today. I was burnt out. It's like too much of a good thing is like can turn into a bad thing. Like that's how I felt. I was like, I am thrifting so much. It felt like I was thrifting more. Now, like I said, in terms of like the amount of time I was spending out at the thrift store, it really wasn't any more than I was used to spending. It was the fact that it felt like there was never a break from it. I felt like I was out there like every day, every other day. It felt like I was constantly thrifting. And so by the time that August arrived, and I knew, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do it like this anymore. This isn't going to work. I knew I was going to have to go back to my old schedule, which was I've only got 2 days a week that I can go out and thrift. And what's that going to look like? Like, it's not going to be enough. I'm not going to be able to sustain this. And I don't know. And I know that I'm not alone because I'm on Instagram. I see other people talking about it too. Like, there's just not as much in the thrift stores. I don't know like what that reason is. I, kind of have my own thoughts on that. I don't know if it's because, less people are donating. I don't know, but for sure, my opinion as someone who does this for a living, I am seeing a major downturn in the amount of like quality items that are being donated to the thrift stores. So maybe that's people are kind of selling things themselves. Maybe more people are kind of turning to like consignment, things like that. but there's definitely a decrease, at least where I live, in kind of the amount of items that I'm seeing kind of pass through the thrift stores. And so with all of those things, by August, I was wiped, you all. I was like, I don't want to thrift. I don't want to think about thrifting. I pushed myself so hard, trying to prepare for the fall when I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that schedule anymore. And I was wiped. And so in August, I decided, I was like, look, I need to take a break. I know I need to set something aside. And really the only thing that I had that I felt like I could remove from my plate a little bit was my YouTube videos. Which, do take a lot of time, editing, all of those things. And so I kind of decided I'm going to set that down for like 3 weeks and then I'll pick it back up. And so that was sort of the plan. And then at the end of 3 weeks, I actually did, I went out and I was filming a video and I just turned the camera off and I was like, no, I'm still not there. I'm just not there. I'm not done. I need more of a break. I still was at a place where I hadn't figured out what the solution to the problem that was now in front of me was going to be. And so I just was like, I'm not ready. I need to be at a place where I have a game plan and I know what to do with what's going on. And so I just was like, I'm just going to let it happen naturally. If I feel like picking up the camera, if I feel like coming back, I'll come back. But what's most important is I need to take a break. I need to reevaluate. I need to figure out what I'm doing. And so that's what I've been doing during this time, is trying to figure out what are my next steps. Can I continue reselling if I don't have that kind of time in my schedule to be out at the thrift stores that much? What does it look like? And so what I ended up doing is I ended up looking into liquidation. And honestly, I was one of those people that I was like, I don't think I would ever do liquidation. I just love thrifting. That's what I'm passionate about. And there was just something with liquidation that, I don't know, just wasn't exciting to me. I don't know. I just really wanted to do thrifting only. But as I looked into liquidation and kind of looked at my situation, I was like, maybe that's something that I need to reconsider. And I thought, well, if I could just find some liquidation to kind of take some of the pressure off so that I can maintain my listings and growing my business without it just fully being dependent on me going out to the thrift store and finding enough items. It was a lot of pressure. I'm not going to lie. I was just it was on my mind constantly. If I wasn't at the thrift store, I was thinking about, okay, when's the next time I can get out to the thrift store? Because I don't have enough items. I need more items. And so I'm saying, I got to the point where I just completely burnt myself out. So I have started looking into liquidation and I've actually ordered, a little bit of liquidation. I'm just dipping my toes in the water because it's really brand new. But so far, I've been really happy with everything that I have, purchased. I have started listing some of my liquidation items and I've been selling them. So, I don't want to talk too much about it yet, but I'm hopeful that ends up being something that kind of helps me through this. Because I love this. I love reselling. I love thrifting. And, I love my business and I really want to find a way to keep making videos and, keep growing Poised and Prepped. So that's kind of where I'm at this point. I do plan to still go out and go thrifting, and kind of, I guess in my mind is like a hybrid, I don't know, half thrifted items, maybe half liquidation. I don't know, we'll see. But I have started to order some liquidation and, try that out. And I think the other thing was back in January, I really wanted to do live sales. And I mean, some of you may remember this. I was doing tons of live shows and I loved it. There's so many pros to the live selling. I know that there's cons as well, but I really, I really liked it myself. And I loved getting to chat with you all and it was fun. I don't know, it's something different and I really loved it. But the problem I ran into was inventory because I hand select all of my stuff, and so I was burning through so much inventory in those live shows. And I couldn't keep up with it, especially when all of a sudden it became even harder for me to just maintain the 10 items a day. I didn't have enough inventory to keep the live shows going. So that's really why I kind of stopped doing as many live shows and I was just kind of doing them like sporadically. But I wanted to keep going with that, but I just wasn't able to. And so kind of my hope is that kind of by introducing some liquidation and stuff into my business, I can, kind of pick back up with those live shows. And I mean, you guys already know, like the people that are having a lot of success with the live shows, most of them do liquidation to some degree. And that's because the amount of hours that it would take to go out to the thrift stores and get those items to do, run live, would be a lot. And I don't have that kind of time right now to be able to do that. So hopefully through liquidation, I will be able to do more live shows. And so as of now, that is my plan for moving forward. So, and in terms of the YouTube channel, I don't know. I feel like I was doing a lot of hauls and I know a lot of you really like the hauls, but I feel like even with the YouTube channel, I'm like kind of also feeling a little bit like in a rut. Like I would like to maybe do some different things, talk about some different things. So let me know if there's anything you guys would like to see from me, like more, I don't know, like systems for your business, I don't know, tips or hauls or what solds. I don't know. I've more day in the life, like vlogging style business. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, what kind of videos would you guys like to see? So I'm just kind of like wanting to like change it up a little bit. So we'll see, but that's just kind of like where I'm at this moment. Gonna try to do part thrift, part liquidation, and go from there and hope for the best. And I don't know, like maybe things won't stay this way. Like maybe things will go back and all of a sudden, there will be more items being donated again. But like I said, at least where I live, I'm really, really noticing a pretty big downturn in what's coming through. So this is the plan for now. And, we'll see what happens. Follow along. I'm going to be trying to document it all here on my YouTube channel, letting you guys know what's working, what's not working, maybe some liquidation videos if that's something that you guys are interested in. Yeah, and we'll just take it from there. So now I am going out to the thrift store and I'm hoping, we'll see. And I'll take you guys along and I'll kind of show you what's out there. And again, even the stuff that is out there, it's starting to get really priced up. So let's go out to the thrift store and see what we can find. All right, one more thing before I head out to the thrift store. I totally forgot to mention, I actually do have 3 live shows scheduled for this upcoming week. And I'm going to take some of the liquidation that I have and I'm going to just like do some live shows with it. I don't know, just kind of see how it goes. And y'all, the items from this liquidation are so nice. Like these big oversized cardigans with pockets. I've got like these like knit sweater blazers, and the sizes that I got are actually really good sizes for the most part. So again, if you guys aren't busy, I usually go live like at night, like 8 to 9 o'clock. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I will be going live. If you just want to come hang out, you can chat, we can talk, whatever. Come hang out. So this is like the first live show that I've done. Gosh, it's been months. So hoping for good results. We will see. But I did want to mention that in case some of you wanted to join in. I think it's going to be really good. So anyways, back to the thrift store.
You had me at hello, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too.
You can ride all the blue. I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it, don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and sit in you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend, and call me anytime when you're at a tight end. You, I got you, and you got me too. We can always make it through. What we do is what we do. I can take you anywhere, somewhere. We won't be scared. You will see me flying high. I'm staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else. I got you.